Good evening, Juventini. It's a cold one tonight. I'm bundled up. I got my little pussy here. I'm keeping bundled. Dash, how you keeping?
Well, I don't have a little pussy with me, but I got a nice warm sweater, and I just kind of want to take a little bit of a thing and just kind of laugh at Roma real quick, just because they got knocked out by Cremonese today.
Man, this happens so much this season. It's nuts.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes to show how important Coppa Italia matches are, because Roma took a huge L, and the funny thing is they didn't even get their goal until like the last minute. So they lost 2-1. They only got a goal literally like 2 minutes into stoppage time. So, but I mean, Cremonese, man, they're on a run right now in the Coppa. Yeah. So
good for them. I guess that's because Zaniolo wasn't playing. He couldn't be up there banging those goals in.
Yeah, I guess not. I guess that was the reason why. It's just no Zaniolo, no problem.
Oh man, if you haven't caught that yet, guys, we did do a double take yesterday on Zaniolo, so check that out. It was a fun one. We enjoyed it.
There was a lot of banter into it.
Yeah, it was good. It's Zaniolo. Take it for what it is. So, of course, it is pre-match for Lazio. We'll catch up on a bit of the news, go over a bit of mostly outgoings, really. There's technically some ingoings, but we'll go over the
incomings.
Yes,
there's an ingoing. I didn't know there was an ingoing.
You can why not?
Hey, well, whatever, just do it in the TG dictionary right there.
We'll roll with it. That, and I mean, there's just a smattering of news and quotes and this and that tonight. So we'll go over all of it and get right into that pregame as well for Lazio tomorrow afternoon.
Let's do it. Oh, we have a Barcelona fan here.
Yeah, we do. He's here. He's announcing himself.
He's an undercover Juve fan. We get it.
It is what it is. At least it's not one of those trolls that just comes in here and talks smack. He can carry an intelligent conversation, So
I was gonna say, you mean the one guy from like the last stream that was just like, I think he had like a cartoon character or something as his background image.
Yeah, he was definitely 12.
Yeah, that was funny.
But it's fine, whatever. We've moved on from that. It's all good. If trollers are gonna get trolled, that's all I gotta say. But we'll get to. I'll just go over the quick transfer deadline news that was, of course, yesterday. McKennie to Leeds, 1.2 million loan with the option of 33, and there's some bonuses in there as well. Potentially, I think upwards to 36. But those bonuses they have not been made clear at this moment what exactly they are.
Yeah. Well, and then I think it's just an option right now. It's not a full obligation. So,
I guess anything could happen really at this point. So, slight chance he can come back, but I'm gonna say he's gone overall. But
you think so?
We'll see. I think so. I mean, it's Leeds. They're kind of, they're trying to maybe compete a little bit harder with some of the big dogs. They want to get. They need some backup. I don't know.
Well, so the interesting thing, I did some research into Leeds, and their midfield is going to be Tyler Adams, Aronson, and McKennie. So an American 3 midfield, and their coach is a U.S.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting.
So I think McKennie's going there, and I think he's going to stay. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
because that's literally the national team starting midfield on Leeds.
Like guaranteed, Leeds, like the city of Leeds, has a Burger King around the corner from the stadium. Like that. Has to be. Yeah, all these Americans hanging around. There's a Burger King.
It's got to be a McDonald's. It can't be a Burger King. It's got to be a
McDonald's. But I was going for the trashier version of it all.
Some say Burger King is the bougier of the two.
It's the same. No, it's so bad. They're both so bad, honestly. Okay, because the French fries at McDonald's at least are decent. What does Burger King have? What trumps at Burger King?
I don't really know, because like back then, like 4 or 5 years ago, Burger King's burgers were actually twice the size of the McDonald's one, and then
because McDonald's shrunk,
and then budget cuts hit, and then Burger King's like, we'll just make it small too and see if we can run with it. So
so really, what is the difference at this point?
There's not much.
At least at McDonald's, I'm getting those fries.
Yeah, their fries are,
and the chicken nuggets. I mean, chicken nuggets, they're pretty decent. But you got to use the honey. Dip with the honey.
Troy says their square patties are superior. I
No,
didn't know
that's
does
no,
Burger King still do
that's
square patties?
Harvey's. That's Harvey's.
I haven't seen maybe that's somewhere
No,
else. I have
Harvey's
not
does the
seen-
square. Oh, no,
We don't
Wendy's.
have-
Wendy's. So wait, yeah, Harvey's is a whatever crap.
Hey,
It's
are
Wendy's.
you trying to tell me that the Canadian brand of Wendy's is Harvey's?
No, is that just a Canadian thing, Harvey's?
I think so.
Whatever. Nobody cares. Honestly, A&W or bust.
Okay, so that's something that we both have here.
Okay,
And Tim
A&W
Hortons.
bust.
And
A
Tim
Dubs. No, no. Actually,
Tim Hortons. I was going to say Tim Hortons is owned by
Burger
King.
So. Yeah. Food Incorporated or whatever their generic ass name's called.
Yep. So it's funny because Burger King never has their shit together. So I'm going to assume Tim Hortons is the same. Yikes.
It depends. It honestly depends which demographic is working.
And then Pipo kind of checks in here saying, hello, Dave and Dash. Tomorrow will be a hard match. Pogba is just an angry thing to think about. And we hope we start with 4 youngsters at least. We'll get into Pogba's little hip flexor activities. We'll cover that. And then he says, yeah, FC Barcelona. He's a Juventus lover. He's always thinking about Juve. So there you go.
Yeah, we'll see. Don't hold your breath just yet.
So Bones did say Wendy's, and then he also says
Carl's Jr. Yeah, that's not in Canada, but I have been there. I go to the States somewhat often.
And then
I guess.
People says Tito's Burger is superior. Is that like the
Tito's.
McDonald's Wendy's, or not the Mexican Wendy's?
Mexican. Yeah.
Canadian Wendy's is Harvey's, and then the American is Wendy's, and then
it's just carne asada in a bun. And I mean, that would be superior.
Yeah, I gotcha. And then FC says, no, I'm just here to support my buddy Dave.
Oh, thanks.
Appreciate it. He says, I love to hate Man U. Everybody does. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, but I do. Okay, so here's the thing. He loves Man City because he's a Pep fan, and I can't stand Man City. I just love to hate them.
That's an interesting thing because, I kind of, for me, I always was kind of annoyed with people that followed players, but coaches, I'm cool with that. Because there's a thing when it comes to following coaches because you can look at it from an educational standpoint. So I runs with it. I'm cool with it.
All right.
And then Troy says we should start a hamburger over Paredes. It's kind of ironic because Paredes is a few vowels away from patties. So,
man.
If I were him, I would have, Troy, let me rephrase that comment for you. We should start patties we should start buns over Paredes because at least they cover something. Boom. Dad joke of the day.
Oh, man, my dog's stepping on my cord. Come on, get off it, girl. It's the Preggers one. You can't be too rough with her. She's finally making her way back down after giving birth to all those puppies.
12.
So. Yeah. I know she's a good girl. This one. All right, let's not stray too far from the Juve talk. I'll get over a couple more of these others as well.
It was a good opening segment.
No, it was hamburgers.
Good. I'm not even mad.
No, I'm not mad. We gotta bring it back a little bit once in a while. We'll veer off. Go here.
You got the news, Dave. What's the article you want to talk about on the next one?
All right. Well, I'm just gonna go over these transfers here. Pellegrini to Lazio for 15, as we know, coming off loan from Eintracht Frankfurt.
Here, can I chime in on this one?
Yeah, of course.
So that 15 million is payable over 5 years.
Is it? I did not see. That's a good dig on that one.
Yes.
5 years. That's
ridiculous. How ridiculous is that?
Fairly ridiculous.
That just goes to show how broke Serie A is when.
And that's Lazio, the shit talkers, right? So
I know. I mean, it's just embarrassing. What are they paying? $3 million a season for Pellegrini? That's absolutely hysterical.
It's basically a 5-year loan.
Pretty much.
It's like a loan to buy, essentially. Oh man.
I mean, still 15 million for Pellegrini is not bad.
It isn't.
I'm not even complaining. But yeah, that was my thing. He only had a season with us, and that was it. He came over for Spina and never really played. And then, last season we had no solution to move him. So we're just kind of well, shit, you're here. Might as well use you for something.
Yeah. I never minded him. He obviously was not the greatest. I don't know. I like her.
I think it's consistency. He's the left back of Zaniolo, a good depth player, but not your starting left back. See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw what you did there.
Oh man. Okay, Dave. I interrupted. What's next? Who's out? Cool. Who's the next outbound?
So this is a stay, I guess. The Cambioso Cambiasso. Man, I messed that up. Cambiasso stays at Bologna.
Yeah. That's that was Baloney giving us the middle finger, because the funny thing is like Juve's like, yeah, we kind of want to recall this guy a little bit quicker than what we anticipated. And then Bologna's like, yeah, sure, you guys can do that. Just let us find a left back first. And then like they found a left back, and then they looked at us and flipped us off respectfully and said, no.
They basically said we paid too much for this loan. We're going to keep him. It's like, well, I mean,
you would have
get some of that money back.
You get some of that money back. So
yeah, whatever. They're just making excuses.
That's why nobody likes Bologna. I hope they get relegated now, just out of spite.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have their main man anymore there. Why can't I think of his name? Their coach that just passed away.
Mihailovic.
Mihailovic, of course. Yep. Yeah, I mean, he was the only great thing of that club.
And, yeah, that guy was a beast.
But I mean, rest in peace. Moving on. Fuck Bologna. Ake to Dijon.
The mustard?
To the mustard. Yeah.
Yep, he's going to the mustard.
So get some more playing time. Essentially, what that is.
Which is fine. Well, I don't know. I'm surprised why I didn't bring him in as a right back, because that's technically what he is.
That's what he's going to Dijon for?
I don't know if he's going to Dijon as a right back, but
we'll have to stay tuned and see.
We might have to research that. So Pipo's going back to sleep. Okay, Pipo, we'll catch you on the next one.
He's on the West Coast. It's like what, 4:42 there?
Maybe he has a date.
So yes, it's siesta. Siesta time. It's Mexico.
Yeah, siesta time.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, you guys, Pipo is a slayer. He is a very, very fine Casanova.
It's Ellie's here. She was first. Just saying, she was first tonight. People,
Helicopter
still here. You got beat.
Helicopter did come in first today. So here's a segment that we can spend a couple minutes on. I kind of got to get the opinion out of the chat. So it looks like some preliminary numbers have come in, and 500,000 people have unsubscribed from DAZN and so Sky Sport Italia.
I love this storyline.
So this is I don't know how true it is. I can't confirm it, but there's like also another thing too is people are refusing to buy ticket sales because they know that ticket sales support Serie A as well. So they're losing a crap ton of money over this.
Yeah.
And I think also when the opinion came out as well, where there wasn't really any credible thing on the opinion, I think that just pissed off a lot more people. But yeah, allegedly 500,000 people have unsubscribed from any kind of Serie A streaming rights. And
I love it. In a sense, I wish I didn't buy it for the year.
You have Fubo, right? That's different.
Yeah, but it's still they get some of it, right? They get
unfortunately for us, we have to cover all of this stuff, so we can't really partake.
Yeah,
right now. That's what's yeah. So. But yeah, no, it's crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised if Serie A's feeling the bite right now. Especially these companies too. Like these companies are feeling it first, and they're kind of probably telling the FIGC, like, "Hey, you guys should probably get your shit together, because we're losing some cash here."
Well, there's definitely a war going on, right? So we know Chefrin, for instance. This is going a bit higher up into the UEFA now, but he's basically saying that, if you drop this whole Super League, we'll bring you back, like the prodigal son sort of nonsense, right? So, I mean, how you can't trust the guy. I mean, look at his face. You just want to slap it, right? It's not a guy you trust in the first place. But that being said, I mean, they now have this whole thing that comes out in the news. They cannot, UEFA, FIFA. It was the trial in Spain. Sorry, it came out that you can no longer do any. I wish I had the words here. The actual there's lawyer speak.
Yeah, lawyer speak. You cannot harass or threaten the Super
penalize. There's the word. Yeah, yes, they cannot be penalized. Sorry about that. Here it is. Promoters of the European Super League have won their appeal in a Madrid court, meaning Super League clubs can't be punished by UEFA or FIFA. Okay, on paper, they cannot. But that slimy bastard will work with Serie A and use his power and financial backing to continue to screw us over if we don't.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, those 15 points came from him. They didn't come from Valencia. The thing is, for me, I find that whole thing ironic because how can you He's got the tinfoil hat, but how can you seriously sit there and just like as the court of appeals sit there and say, yeah, that 15-point deduction makes sense, and then people are like, why'd you pick 15 out of everything? And they're like, I don't know,
because reasons.
just because bleep you guys.
Yeah, because Chaffron's probably kind of like, guys, 9, like.
Yeah, no, he's like, do it. So
it's so that, I mean, there's definitely more going on behind the scenes.
There has to be.
Let's not just take this on face value. I think that's too shallow to do so.
I'm just saying he probably didn't give, Agnelli didn't give Scheffrin a hug, and Scheffrin got triggered over it, and then this whole situation started over it, and Scheffrin just needs to grow a pair and move on.
But these are the kind of guys that never got their punch faced as a kid. They never learned those lessons.
I think he did. I think he did. That's why he's just petty.
No, typically these guys get protected, and they think that they run the place, and they kind of do. In a sense,
not when they're kids. It's gotta be.
No, because he didn't go to the school years we went to. Stash. He's a trust fund kid.
Yeah, but him and Agnelli probably went to the same school together, and Agnelli probably spit in a sandwich.
Cousins don't count. Family don't count, man.
KB comes in saying almost at 1K, nerd.
Yeah, us nerds are almost at 1K. We're 10 away, guys. Please subscribe.
We're 10 away. We're almost big boys now.
Almost. Put on my big boy pants.
About to.
Yeah. And Troy saying, I hope we win the Europa League. Yes, absolutely. I think we absolutely need to hammer that one home.
So yeah, live counter says we are 9 away.
Ooh, we were actually 9 away earlier, and then the asshole, I think, unsubscribed.
I think it was a bot account. We'll just leave it at that.
You never know. They don't tell you who it is. Actually, most people, and it's smart of you, have your account set to private, so we don't actually know who subscribes most of the time. If I do know who you are, I don't know. Maybe check your security settings if you care about that. I do. I'm a big security nerd with that stuff. I hate, I don't. That's why Dash has the TikTok account, not me.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, follow Turn Giants at TikTok.
There you go. Yeah, TikTok. Also, last transfer today. Sorry, my tinfoil hat's hitting the microphone. This one I'm excited about because it puts him to Serie A. Nicolucci Caviglia to Salernitana. Gets a loan move. Not bad. Gets the Serie A time.
Yeah, definitely. Which is good because, you got to take those next gen players and play them in a higher league because Serie C can only give you so much. I just, Serie C is not going to be the end all be all for it.
Yeah. So that's good to see. When does he make the first team? And Salernitana, I mean, they did beat us. Conspiracy aside, they
tied. They tied.
Oh, was it
tie?
2-2.
It was 2-2.
2-2. Sorry, I get the Mons and Salernitana because they're both like promotion teams that wear red, and they're just the same team to me.
Yeah. Well, screw Monza. Okay, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Cool. So moving on to the next segment here.
What return?
What return?
Yeah. What Pogba return are we talking about?
Unfortunately, Pogba had a flexor discomfort, and he is out tomorrow.
And it's to the point. So what? Yeah, it means discomfort means it hurts too much to actually do soccer, football.
Yes.
Essentially.
So I wonder what he's been thrusting.
Ooh, Vlahovic is okay though.
Yeah, Vlahovic is good.
The master thruster.
The master thruster is back. Apparently, they're saying that Chiesa is doubtful with physical discomfort, and the same thing with Juan Cuadrado. I don't know. FotMob hasn't released a lineup yet, so I don't even know for sure who's starting or not. We just have the Romeo Agresti tweets that tell us who's potentially starting. So, yikes!
We'll get into that lineup in a bit. But what we do know is Milik. There are no milk deliveries for the next 45 or so days.
Yeah,
so that's tough.
Ironically, right after we finally got the shirt done, he gets hurt. But hey, you know what? I got to give Milik credit, dude, because Milik was known for being super injured all the damn time, and the guy went 7 months. So I'm not even mad.
Yeah,
I suppose. Can't even be mad over that.
And we got Vlahovic back, so luckily we're not down 2 guys. Again,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be bad.
So, do you guys want to make fun of Rocco Commisso, who's
Yes.
Fiorentina's owner? So I kind of
Yes.
want to make fun of him for this. So he made a quote today. I saw a quote that was posted today, and he said, "Italian football is sick. There are teams on the pitch that are not in line with the financing, and it was seen with Juventus, as he ironically took 120 million from us for Chiesa and Vlahovic. If everything was in line with the financing, why would you take that deal, Mr. Commisso? How
He's a
about this?
putz.
Just hold your L with your coach and your squad that can't even make the top 10. So you know what, Commisso, go blow yourself if you can even bend that far."
Oh no,
But yeah,
Italians have big guts, man.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
grow
just
one right
saying.
here.
I'm just saying. The thing is, that guy always tries to find an opportunity to dunk on us, and then he comes to us for a check. Like, that dude literally, like, the only reason like Fiorentina has any kind of money is because Juve has been bottom feeding them. Like, I just find that super ironic that that guy is like ridiculously petty. Yet every time they get a top tier talent, it gets sold to us. Like,
Pretty
all right,
much Baggio.
he's a Walmart version of Lotito. The funny thing about it is like, think about it, because like Commisso is like, he's trying to be like Lotito, but at the end of the day, he's just like, well, I should probably take that money and not complain about it.
Yeah, he
Versus
needs
like,
the money.
yeah, because like, for example, if it was Lotito and Vlahovic was like offered, like he was at Lazio and he was 75 million, like Lotito wouldn't even take that money. Like, he is that petty.
I can
And
see
then
that.
Commisso's like, because I guarantee you, if SMS was at Fiorentina and like we offered to match like the 85 million bid, Rocco would take it.
Yep.
Rocco's ironic, man. Like it's just like KB says, he's trying to be the next Lotito, but like that guy gets bought with dollars easy. So like, whenever I see him comment against us, I always just chuckle, because I'm like, really, dude? Like, seriously?
I mean, he's a troll himself. If he was 50 years younger, he would probably be on our channel trolling like that other asshole a couple days ago there.
That might have been him.
Yeah.
It might have been a Commisso burner account.
Intelligence of a 12-year-old. Very plausible.
Yeah. So, and speaking of Pogba's injury, so like Allegri kind of mentioned, saying for Pogba, I expect his body to readjust to the performance. Maybe initially he'll play half an hour, but it takes time for such a process. Yeah, well, he's not playing anymore, Allegri, so I'm not really sure on what you mean with that one, buddy.
Yeah. Lotito, Commisso. I don't know. Just shake your head. Shake your head. There's nothing you can do. You can't fix stupid, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about let's change the mood though. Let's get positive. Let's stop trashing people and start celebrating people. Quagliarella, it's his 40th birthday today, and just a little bit of history here. I'm gonna read this out. This is from our boss El Jefe Farhad here. Fabio Quagliarella didn't score boring goals. Cult figure for Juve fans, a man who went head-to-head with CR7 and won the Capocannoniere in 2019 with 26 goals. Turning 40 today and still going strong. So there you go. Legend, really. I mean, he's legend still in the making, essentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, he's like the oldest player in Serie A, and he's an outfield player. He's not like, he's not like Buffon, where he's just a goalkeeper. So it's like,
yeah,
I still can't believe that dude's still kicking. I mean, he's at Sampdoria, but still.
Yeah. And I mean, he's managed. Clearly,
absolutely.
right? Like,
absolutely. I mean, he's not playing 90 minutes in and out. Like,
he's playing like 15,
20.
Yeah,
depending on the situation. But still, hey man, it's not easy to keep yourself in top tier form like that. So hey,
no, I know, because I played hockey today for the first time in 3 years, and it sucks.
And you're definitely going to be, I'm telling you, and I told them at pre-show problem, I'm like, you're going to be really sore. Like, I'm telling you right now, like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. You're going to be extremely sore, and it's going to suck.
No, it does. And I already took it to the face multiple times. It's
oh yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Juventino MC. I have not seen this guy in the chat before.
No,
so
he's big on, is it Twitter or Instagram or both?
I don't know.
He's big on the socials. I know that for
Big on the
sure.
socials, yeah. So,
definitely seen that name.
Hey
So
man,
welcome.
thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's the cool thing. We're getting a lot of new faces too, so it's like super awesome.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And check his stuff out as well.
yeah, check out Juventino MC guys on his
Yeah.
socials. Got some cool stuff.
All right. So we got excited. You want to get angry?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Do I gotta cook somebody?
No, we're just getting to the lawyery stuff again here.
Let's do it. I just want to troll the hell out of FIGC, so let's go for it.
Yeah, let's do it. So this is from Cultural Finanza. The Juve lawyers are hard at work to overturn the verdict and are focusing on 3 concepts: illogicality, lack of motivation, and lack of foundation. Coney will not judge if the sentence was fair or not, but has the power to annul or send the case for a new trial. So, obviously the lawyers are at work. They're going to be making their case here for that illogicality, lack of motivation, lack of foundation. Those are obviously keywords that they're using, kind of cryptic in a sense. I don't want to guess too much, really. I mean, in due time, we'll know exactly what this means. But from what we get of this for sure is that basically, if they think it's ridiculous or that it wasn't just, they can completely annul it, saying, no, it's done, whatever. Or they go for a retrial saying, all right, let's do this properly this time. So that's what I've teased out of that, all that lawyer speak. Yeah, try phrasing. Yeah, no, that was phrasing.
Well, I mean, that technically makes it sound like they got no case.
Yeah, the phrasing, though, I think he's going back to my taking it in the face.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be like an episode of Law where they come in and they just say, "Hey, your stuff makes absolutely no sense." So yeah, KB says Juventus need to get this problem solved, otherwise Vlahovic will be gone in the summer. To be honest with you, I don't know.
Well, that was actually reported that he may be sold just to gain revenue.
No, I mean I get that, but I'm saying like I don't know, man, because like the problem is right now his value is not that high. Because he's missed a good chunk of the season and he's kind of been mediocre. So like,
very true.
I would not sell him because you are going to take a loss, a pretty nasty loss.
I don't know what Chelsea was doing. 600 mil.
No, hey, you want to know their actual total spent? It's 666 million.
The devil.
Yeah.
Oh man,
dude,
crazy.
I don't. And the funny thing is, did they buy any defenders? I think they just bought a bunch of forwards. That's what happens when you get That's what happens when you have American ownership in soccer. They just say, oh yeah, that guy. Let's buy this guy. Let's buy that guy.
Crazy. Well, let's read this off here real quick because this is sort of the same topic. Ranked 17th in the Premier League, Bournemouth spent 32.2 million euro in the winter transfer window. All 20 clubs in Serie A spent a combined 28.4 million.
And you guys and FIGC wants to penalize us.
Yeah, I don't know. And the thing is we have been fairly active the past couple Januaries, but because of what we're going through right now, because last year, was it 35 mil spent on Locatelli in the January?
No, we last year we spent almost 100.
But yeah, just the one though. Yeah, Vlahovic. Yeah,
for Zach. We got Zakaria and we got Vlahovic.
Yeah. So, and Locatelli was the year before. Is my years messed up again?
No, Locatelli was summer.
Oh, it was before. It was the summer. Okay, yeah. That's so. Yeah, this January's Vlahovic. That's right. My bad. Which was even a bigger purchase.
Yeah. Troy taps in and says, "I don't get it. Lotito said he would automatically charge Juve 20 million more on principal." Yeah, that's the pettiness right there. Isn't that the lack of loyalty to the game or whatever? Yeah, that is.
Oh, yeah, it's not in the spirit of the rules or
whatever the imaginary rules that FIGC has done. Helicopter says Badashile went to Chelsea for 37 million.
Okay, there you go.
Hey man, they bought way too many players that I can't even keep track.
37 though. That's expensive for a young defender.
Yeah, well, they paid over 100 million for Murderk and then 120 million for Enzo Fernandez. from Benfica, which I bet you right now Rabona TV is like rolling in the cash because he's like, we just won Chelsea. Like, did Chelsea not learn anything from Darwin Nunez to Liverpool? Like, that guy absolutely flopped.
No, we'll see what happens.
You know what?
People are going to be laughing. They're waiting to laugh.
Bone says, "Can we get Ryan Reynolds to buy Juve, and that way he can charm the judges?"
He's actually busy trying to buy the Ottawa Senators right now. No joke.
That's so Canadian of him.
It absolutely is.
I can't.
And the Ottawa Senators are so bad.
Out of all the franchises Ryan could buy,
it's the only one you can afford, honestly, because it's just that bad.
Is it that cheap?
It's that bad. It's so bad, and it's actually the one. It's like I just head down the highway, and that's where I end up. And I've never been there. I'm a Leafs fan. Whatever. Screw those guys.
Dave's throwing jabs at Montreal. Dave just doesn't.
No, that's Ottawa. Oh, I'll definitely hate Montreal, but Ottawa is just embarrassing. They're like the Bengals, except this year, I suppose. But historically, the Bengals.
And the thing too is Ryan also owns Wrexham as well. So
yeah, Wrexham.
Are they?
The whole thing.
There's a show. There's a series on that. So
welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah, welcome to Wrexham.
I haven't watched it yet. I have been meaning to. There's 20 episodes.
I know. Giuseppe's been watching it because he told us about it. He's like, tonight I am a Wrexham fan, and I was like, all right.
I've had two people separately at work come up to me, and everyone knows. Obviously, I'm a big football fan, right? Like I'm basically the only one that's as crazy about it. And these two separate guys both watched Welcome to Wrexham and came up to me and they're like, I think I'm actually starting to get interested. They say soccer, of course, right? It's like, I think I'm starting to get interested in soccer. I'm like, oh, really? It's like, have you watched Welcome to Wrexham? I haven't. And they started they're like getting into it and telling me all about it. I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like encouraging them. I was like, yes, please tell me more. I think I'm starting to convert some guys. Well, and the show too, obviously.
Yeah. And then there's Ted Lasso, so there's got to be some
yes, I love that show.
And then Robert Bertuzzo says, I believe Vlaho is a Juventini and will not abandon us. I think he's going to stay with his bromance with Chiesa.
Yeah,
him and Chiesa have a really good bromance. Mm-hmm. Tom checking in. Hey, Tom. Tom says, hey, guys, are you doing a watch along for the game tomorrow? That is kind of a good question.
Okay, let's talk about it. You're working, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I am in the office until 4 o'clock-ish, so I'd be free after 4. So
okay, so here's the deal, guys. I'll let you know right now, just to be straight. I have a chiropractor appointment at 2 p.m. The game starts at 3 p.m. Obviously, my time zone I'm talking here, right? It is a 25-minute drive to my house from there. I can definitely do it, but she's going to be starting real tight, like real tight, maybe even late. So don't hang me for it. That's just the reality of my life. And I love going to the chiropractor, so I'm not going to cancel it. So yeah, I mean, I need to go for reasons, right? So.
And then I could always jump in whenever I get back. So that's not an issue.
What do you mean? Oh, sorry. Okay, I bounced. No, yeah. Okay.
It says, where is UEFA with the financial fair play rules for the English spending and this outrageous amount of cash? Well, they're not there because they're doing capital gains in UEFA's pocket.
KP,
next question.
Listen, your problem is that you're using logic right now, and that just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
No, you gotta. Man, I wish you were Canadian because I can try to prescribe you some weed and just like you try to zone out and just dumb your head down to their level to try to make sense of things.
I need to get the one Sam Adamo clip where he's like, you're thinking logically when it comes to Calcio. Calcio is the most corrupted thing in the world. He's like, I don't understand why people are trying to legitimize it and all this and blah blah blah. I cried laughing.
Yeah.
And then Bone says, what about Ted Lasso? We're just talking about him as a show. And then Tom 26R says Discord chat and a cheeky live stream of the game potentially. Ha 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 ha.
I know what he's alluding to. No, if we're going to do the traditional, the live streams. I try to keep to the U23s and the women's for reasons that I'm not going to really get into here, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, Robert Bertuzzo. We haven't seen this name either. Welcome.
He says it's criminal that we've not been able to see Chiesa and Vlahovic play together on Juve. Dude, I know it's one or the other, unfortunately. And then Barca says Nunez isn't a flop yet. Liverpool has a midfield problem, but you have to admire Chelsea because they've completely smashed the winter transfer window. Kind of excited to see them play. Yeah, my thing
It's
with
the
Darwin.
chemistry. Sorry, yeah, go.
Yeah, the thing is, so chemistry with them, but for me, it's just the reason why I kind of am a little bit hard on Nunez is the dude they paid almost 100. I think they paid over 100 mil for the guy.
That much, yeah,
They paid
and
a lot.
that's what makes it look bad. It is not necessarily fair to the player to say, oh, he's trash based on how much a club wasted money on. But
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. But when you look at them, it looks bad.
Because the thing is when you're paying that kind of value for this player, you're expecting that instant impact. Like you can't pay 120 million, or I think it's 120 million, but you can't pay an excess amount of cash and the guy just be mediocre.
Well, let's look at Barcelona. De Jong, for instance, he was probably overpaid for what he ended up giving you
with what he did. It's just one of those things where it's like, I get it, the market's inflated and blah blah blah, but like, you don't spend that kind of cash on a player if you know that player's going to fit into that system, because essentially Nunez was kind of a replacement for Firmino. So like he was supposed to be, but it just, I guess it didn't pan out. I mean, I get it. I get the argument for a midfield problem and etc. But again, that's bad management on the club. If you knew you had a midfield problem, why are you spending X amount of money on Darwin Nunez when you needed to fix your midfield? So, it's
good point.
catch-22 on that one.
Yeah.
And then Potter is a decent manager. Yeah, we'll see what he does. I don't follow the EPL too much, so I can't really attest too much to whether or not Potter, what he's capable of doing. I just know that he isn't a wizard and manages a team in London. So, and then Tom 26R is asking, what are your guys' predictions for tomorrow? I know we need a reaction, but do you think the players are even in the right headspace anymore? That is a good question.
It is a good question, and it's a case by case situation with each player, right? I would imagine Pinsolio, for instance, even though he's never going to play a match, is 100% ready to go because he's just an animal that way, right? Just like if Buffon or Chiellini was here, same thing.
But my thing, so my thing is like, I wouldn't be surprised if we scored 2 or 3 goals, because my thing is like Allegri just has Sarri's number for some reason. Like Allegri's got one of the best records against Sarri.
Yeah, and that is the thing. I do actually feel good about that.
Yeah, because like Sarri, I don't know why he just cannot play against Allegri. Like I think he's got maybe 1 or 2 wins over the entire clash, which is like 15 or 16 matches. And especially in the Coppa Italia, like I don't think Allegri's ever lost to Sarri in the Coppa Italia either. So he's definitely got his number on that one. Tom says Potter did well at Swaznia. I thought Potter did Brighton. I thought he coached Brighton Hove Albion, I think. Brighton and Albion or whatever. I think
Brighton and Hove Albion, yeah.
Yeah, it's a seagull, the seagull team. Because their logo is
the seagull team. Because they're on the coast.
I don't mean any disrespect by that. That's just the indicator for the actual badge. KB says 2-1 Juve Lazio. And then Marian kicks in saying expectations for the Chiesa Vlahovic combo. Do you think alleged
expectations, I guess? Yes, expectations. Okay, we're so hypothetically at this point, but yeah, I think this is what we have all been waiting for. But Pogba would have been the trifecta.
My thing is what are they going to play? Because there's no, even on FOTMob, there's no predicted lineup, so there's no predicted formation. And then like, even with like, so for example, I have Romeo Agresti's probable lineup, and it is starting Perrin, Danilo, Bremer, Alexandro Cuadrado. So that makes it look like it's a 4-man defense. And then you have Fagioli, Locatelli, Rabiot, Kostic, Chiesa, Vlahovic. So guys, I think this is either going to be a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1.
And be aware, I understand that there's like a 3-5-1-1 sort of situation going here. This is just make believe at this point. We really don't know.
Because I don't know, because that lineup, damn, see, that's the thing too, because like it can be a back 3 and it can't be a back 3. It can be a back 3 or a back 4. Cassandro and Cuadrado are your de facto left back and right back, because he's playing. Damn, I don't know. That's a good. This one's actually tricky. Really interesting. Yeah, because the thing is you can do so many formations with this personnel on the field. I would love to see the 4-2-3-1, because having Chiesa on the right wing and then Kostic on the left. Or you can even swap them out if you want to on opposite, so they're inverted wingers. But yeah, it's, and then I don't know. That's interesting. That's really interesting, because Agresti tends to be pretty accurate in his pre-match lineups. And then if I'm looking at DiMarzio's starting lineup, he has Danilo, Bremer, Sandro in a back three, and then Quadrado, Rebbio, Locatelli, Moretti, Kostic, and then Di Maria and Vlahovic.
Yes,
So
that's this one.
That's the DiMarzio. No, you have Fagioli. This one has Moretti.
Oh, Fagioli. So okay.
So
All right,
one, yeah.
But as a 3-5-2.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. This is interesting. Chat, what would you guys see? 3-man or a back four? Back four, back three.
I want to see the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3, one of those variations.
Yeah, I want to see a back four. I think, when you concede as much as they've conceded in the last 3 games, I think you got to give it a shot. Because this is interesting. I don't know if Allegri's playing mind games because he likes to really mess around with Sarri like that. So you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very curious on that one. And then Marian says, I think Chiesa will come in as a super sub. Tom
I do like him as that, to be honest.
Tom says, I am curious to see what lineup and formation we will go with tomorrow. Bones says, I want to see a back four.
The sentiment is there.
Yep. And then copters on in saying, we need to say bye-bye to that 3-man defense.
By the way, guys, I'm given, I don't know what I promised. That's right. I had a 3-tier promise of what I would give away. If you can tell me where in this room. So first off, there's a helicopter part in my room. Point it out. If you can point it out.
I'm going to be honest with you. It's not even in the shot.
It is in the shot.
Barely.
It doesn't matter. It's there. Okay, listen. If you can tell me what it is, I'll get you a Turn Giant shirt. If you can tell me specifically which airframe it came off of, I'll get you the sweater. And Barca fan, buddy, I mean, I work with you. It doesn't count.
He's about to sit there and be like, shit, Dave's about to give me a free sweater.
I'll still get you some. Don't worry. I'll get you some.
Right. So and then
yeah, that's a long-standing, if you can tell me what it is.
And then Bones comes in saying it would be very much Allegri not to change anything. Yeah, that's true. And then this one's an interesting. KB says Christmas tree formation with Locatelli's the trequartista. Would we run I don't know if we could run a Christmas tree formation. That's kind of a
2, 3. We'll write your things down.
Give me a second. I got my pad. Give me a second.
Okay, I'll go over a couple more news points here, quotes as well. So at Juventus, they are expecting another penalty of between 15 to 20 points that would put us in the relegation places. But at the same time, the club are confident they will be able to overturn the first penalty. So again, there's a penalty for the plus Valenza, essentially. And I know I'm simplifying it. We've kind of beaten this. Everyone's kind of beaten this. So there's the plus Valenza one, but then there's also the non-payment of salaries or the deferred payments, if you will.
Yeah.
So they think they're going to get the one going on now overturned, plus Valenza one, but they might get screwed on the other one. Big mess. This, that, and the other thing. The lawyers are doing their thing. That's all I can say. Lawyers are at work.
Okay. Is this what you're thinking about, KB?
That's the Christmas tree.
That is the Christmas tree.
Okay, so hypothetically, who are we putting in there?
So he says Locatelli is a trequartista, so it's probably going to be either here or here. Oops. There you go. I'm inverted.
Okay, so up top you have Vlahovic.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be...
I want let's fill this lineup out.
All right, fine. Let me see if I can adjust this so you guys can see me fill it out.
No, not too low.
Hey, ooh. Ooh. All right, so we got DV9. So I'm going to just put DV at the top. All right, cool. Formation building with dash here, guys. So DV right here. We got this. Damn, this light's shining on it.
Said middle next to the defense.
All right.
So like that's central defensive.
That's DV. So then.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So then what are going to be the 2 players that play below Dusan, KB? Or chat. Kick in chat. Dash doesn't stream with pants confirmed. Oops. Oops.
Okay, let's see what Tom has here. Do you feel that whenever DV9 is being the solo striker, he always ends up isolated and frustrated? Yes.
Yeah.
Because that 3-5-1-1 or 3-5, I think the formation doesn't suit him.
Dusan Dusan's a 4-3-3 player.
Yes.
Or a 4-2-3-1 player. He needs winger support. Like he can't be. In my opinion, I don't think Dusan's a true number 9. He's not a target man number 9. It's just not his skill set.
You would think because he's sort of a large,
large
beast,
muscular
sure.
guy. It's just
But
it
he isn't
doesn't
really.
suit him. So we've got. He wants that, and then he wants Locatelli in the center. Okay, so he probably wants. All right, is this where you want Locatelli? KB, if you're still watching,
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay.
So I think because that's what he says, middle next to the defense. So that's gonna be it. Yeah, that's it.
Sounds right.
Okay, so he wants to do the Christmas tree. Here's one thing that I kind of want to see us do, which would help us out a lot.
KB confirms.
KB confirms. Cool, we're good. It's actually a fun part of the live where we're interacting with people. Hey, tell me what to draw here.
It's Pictionary with Dash.
It's Pictionary with Dash. Yeah, let's go.
Calcinary?
Right, so
is that a word?
We'll call it the Calcinary.
Oh, we just made a new word. Love it.
Weirdly, I think Higuain would have been okay in this sort of formation. We've been trying out, but Dusan needs wing. Yeah, Higuain, like we can troll Higuain, call him Lord Higgers or whatever. Like that guy he was a true number 9. Like we can troll the hell out of Higuain all we want, but that guy was actually pretty good because the thing about Higuain that Dusan doesn't have is Higuain knows how to create his own shot. Like that is one thing that I thought that was really good for Higuain. Unfortunately, he just choked whenever there was big moments, but Lord Higuain knew how to do it, man. Especially with us, he did pretty well, except for the Real Madrid final that we won't talk about. But I'm gonna actually go over a tactic that DV played when he was at Fiorentina. So DV was always the starter in a 4-3-3 at Fiorentina, and then I'm trying to remember the wingers at the time that they had, but they always had really pacey wingers.
Well, for 1 year, it was Chiesa.
Yeah, but that was before Dusan actually broke out.
Yeah, it was earlier on.
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up while we.
Okay, I'll go over some more news. You find that info, and here we go. Undoubtedly, Allegri has some. Sorry, this is from Del Piero. And undoubtedly, Allegri has some responsibility. The team is a bit lost. Sunday's match against Monza was a stab in the heart to any Juventino. In a moment of difficulty, you'd expect to win after a good game against Atalanta. So I feel that Del Piero is affected by it. Well, he must be. I mean, his heart's clearly with the club, right? So he's kind of calling bullshit on this as well. It's not a good look. And then, finally, this is my last point. And it's from our boy. Wait for it.
Come on, Gypsy. Come on.
Federico Bernardeschi speaking to Il Mattino. I just hope they don't take away the Scudetti we won on the field. I would consider it a great injustice, especially because I do not see the link between sports and football results and the economic aspect. It just shows, I just wanted to bring this out because, I love Berna. We love Berna around here. Izard still with Juventus. He's still a Juventini, so that's good to see. I love it.
He's trying to get his good graces. He's like, hey, Allegri, I'll play as a left back.
We'll bring him back when we go to Serie B.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it looks like here, so it says Dusan played with Gonzalez on the left and Sotil on the right. So very speedy pace wingers that would help him out a lot. And then also you had Duncan, Torreira, and Bonaventura in the back. So his midfield was kind of mid. Wasn't like anything too crazy. But the thing is where Dusan really excels is if you have fast wingers on the left and right. So Chiesa, Di Maria, and Dusan actually is not. I think it'd be better than what he's running with at Fiorentina.
Yep. Oh, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no shit. I get that, but because I think that's the issue. Is I don't think we've seen Dusan really play in a free-flowing 4-3-3 or anything like that. Because a lot of the positions, he's the point guy up top, and it's just Dusan isn't that guy, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then when you give him Moretti, for instance, having Moretti as the second striker, I don't. What do you call that in a 3-5-1-1? Is that attacking midfielder, second striker?
It's a second striker.
Yeah.
Segunda striker.
Secondo punto. If you're gonna be all, I mean, what is it? Half Italian, half English,
something like that. But yeah, and you know the thing about it is like Dusan's not a Lukaku as far as build goes. And then Lars says, "Hey, if
I
we go to
love
Serie
this.
B, maybe we get Buffon back."
Dude, that would be almost worth it.
It's so he probably would do it too, knowing him. Muddian says Dusan is always isolated. Yeah, it's just the position. When you play a 3-5-2 or anything like that, a 3-5-1-1, you're alone and you're isolated. That's why only certain players can excel in that position. Like a Lukaku can excel because Lukaku is just a big hunk. And, you know, I don't like the guy, but you can't move the guy. The guy is really difficult to move. I don't think Dusan, Keane, or Milik are good strikers for that. I think with a more expansive wing game, because the thing is when you're the isolated guy at the top, you're always going to be put in a double coverage by both center backs of the opposing team. You're going to always have two people watching you. So Dusan, in my opinion, isn't at that level where he's able to do something against two defenders. He's not like a Lewandowski, because Lewandowski can cook a defender like it's nobody's business. But it's just, yeah, it's one of those things where unfortunately if Allegri wants to maximize Dusan, he has to have the wing play. And to be honest, we just haven't really had the wing play. It's just, it wasn't existent because it was just Kostic.
We got it. We got Di Maria, we got Chiesa, we got Illing.
So it's there. I just think now Allegri kind of needs to, you know, adjust the team to that spot. It's just, the problem is and I think this is really the root of every issue that we've had this season, is our squad composition is so weird.
It is.
Like it is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, well, you know, the board and Allegri have no balls to switch to a 4-3-3. Like, no, that's not the reason why. It's just the squad composition is so weird. Some of the players' strengths don't make sense with a bunch of other players, and it's just like, it's almost like, for example, like here's one guy I'll dog, and it's Fabio Paratici. I will dog that guy because that guy was an idiot when it came to transfers. I'm dead serious, because it's like, you pick Aaron Ramsey on a free contract. Great. Where does he fit? What do you use him for?
That's true. I was actually excited about that for some reason.
I liked him. Him, but at the same time, where do we put him? Who else did we pick up? Even Rabiot. Like, it took Rabiot almost 3 seasons to figure out where to put him. And
Central midfield, perhaps. I don't know why it was so hard. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying for him to synergize with the team.
Yeah,
I
get it.
You know, like, if we want to be really technical, there's like multiple versions of a central midfielder, like a defensive midfielder, central midfielder, a ball hawk central midfielder. You know, I can bore you guys to sleep, but
Bones. Paredes plays in the back. He doesn't go forward.
He plays? He plays?
Yeah, he's just munching on a hamburger in the back.
I thought he's just there to get a check.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. And Marianne, we don't have fullbacks for a 4-3-3. We also, other than Kostic, don't have wingbacks.
A wingback.
So
that's why the squad, it's just that's my issue. It's just the squad composition makes no sense, because the thing is like, you bring in Cambiasso and then you loan him out, which never made any sense to me, when your only left back is Alexandro and De Chilio's a substitute.
And screw you, Bologna. But also, why
Bologna
did we loan him to Bologna?
Because like, maybe, and the thing is, and with Pellegrini, I think we sent him over to Frankfurt just because we wanted to ice the deal with Kostic. We're like, see, we'll give you a replacement for Kostic. Just give us Kostic.
I think that was a bit of it for sure.
Yeah. So, and this is interesting because he mentions this. Yeah, the team was built for a 4-3-3, but it's like, here's the weird thing about this is your main center back that you're bringing into the system, Bremer, doesn't gel well in a 4-man defense. Like, that's the issue too. Like, also with Kostic as well, Kostic was more of a wingback player instead of just a pure winger. So like, some of that composition, like, the team was built for a 4-3-3, but like, it just never worked. I don't know why. It's weird.
Well, I think they needed some time to actually work the system, but then all these guys got injured and you just couldn't do it.
Because the thing is, it's like, and it's like, now, like, do they shift back to what they did? Like, it's almost like we're caught in this weird squad composition paradox. And it's like, for me, even looking at it tactically, it makes no sense, because it's like, there's some players that can do some things and there's some players that can't do some things. And like, this isn't me ripping on like the Kostic purchase, because I think the Kostic purchase was great. It was a cheap alternative, and the guy, you're getting production.
Well. Yeah,
you're getting production out of him. It's just, my thing is This guy's bread and butter is a left wing back. And like at the beginning of the season, Allegri was saying, hey, we're doing a 4-3-3. So like, what was the logic in that purchase? And this isn't me ripping on Kostic. I'm not taking on Kostic.
No, it's just a squad composition.
Yeah, it's just the squad composition. It doesn't make sense. Same thing with, like, for example, I'm like, again, so I understand Pellegrini was kind of like a bargaining chip for Kostic. But like, you bring in Cambiasso and then you loan him out to Bologna, which that didn't make sense to me. Because it's like, again, you have DeCilio as a backup, and you know it's funny because Bones says our Lord and Savior, but who's going to alternate for Cuadrado on the right? Because you always want to have one additional person to cover a position. So if you had Marian Allegri wants to play Kostic as a left back, that is like the greatest meme ever. Allegri pays $300 million to sign Lionel Messi for him to play left back. That's so funny because every time you see a player linked to Juve, you just hear left back. Lars is saying, is Kostic alone with an obligation? Or I think it was an outright purchase. We paid like 18 million total for him.
Yeah, let me look up that deal again. I think
it was like 12.
Right.
It was like 12 plus bonuses. We used the Delit money for it.
Football Italia, our boys, Rav.
Yeah,
I'll agree to your cookies.
I think that was a flat out purchase, and that's why I think they sent Pellegrini.
Here it is: 12 million payable in 3 financial years, with addition of ancillary costs, including the solidarity contribution envisaged by FIFA regulations, up to a maximum of 1.5 million.
So yeah,
man, these words that they use sometimes.
He was a cheap pickup.
So essentially 13 and a half.
But you guys, we got to remember too, Kostic was brought in essentially as a substitute for Chiesa until Chiesa got healthy. Yeah, that was honestly, I think, one of the main intents for Kostic. Again, not a knock on Kostic or anything like that. And then Juventino MC says Pogba getting injured in the summer ruined things. Yeah, it ruined a lot of things actually, because then it kind of did and it kind of didn't. So here's my reasons why. If Pogba hadn't gotten injured, I don't think we see Fagioli. I think Fagioli would have got buried. I'm gonna keep it 100% with you guys. And
Fagioli's really breaking out right now.
Yeah,
which is great to see.
Which, you know, it sucks because Pogba is technically the franchise player. Like he is the franchise player right now when it comes to value that the squad's invested in him. But I think, and I can confidently say this, if he hadn't have gotten injured, I think Fagioli either would have gotten loaned out or he would have never seen the day, maybe like a minute or two, because it kind of worked out to our benefit. Because then Pogba went down and then McKennie went down, and then that really solidified Fagioli's spot. So it's kind of like one of those things where it worked out in the end. And then unfortunately, a little bit of Moretti's dry spell also kind of factored in for Fagioli. But I think if Pogba didn't get injured, I don't think we'd see Fagioli. I think Paredes would probably overtake Fagioli in Allegri's mindset. Because remember, Allegri's true midfield was Paredes, Rabiot, and Pogba.
Well, Del Piero didn't really break out until Baggio got injured, and
then
he got the playing time.
That's true. And then Juventino, just to follow up on his comment, he says Kostic has been good since we started to play that center forward instead of another striker. Hasn't been good since we started to play. I gotcha.
Oh, that 3-5-1-1 he's referencing?
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
Yep. So that's the thing, because it's like, and I really think Kostic would be great as an out-and-out winger. Like, I really do. Like, if you had him as the left winger in a 4-3-3, like, I could see him do really well there. Because right now, as a fullback, it's tough for him to manage his energy levels. Because you got to save Kostic, man. Like, the thing is, the guy's been bombing up and down. The guy's got a motor, but the problem is I said it too on the Twitch stream on Monday night, where I said, I'm really concerned about Kostic's legs because he looked really heavy in that Monza game. Like, his feet looked extremely heavy.
Which, by the way, sorry, the shameless plug. Mondays, doesn't matter what's going on. Mondays, we're on Twitch with the official Juventus stream with Beppe Bagnani. Everyone knows Beppe.
We're official now, guys. No. So yeah, we're officially co-hosts for the Talk Juve nightly talk show on that channel. So
for the rest of the season,
you guys get to see the most epic collaboration of Juventus content creators and us three.
It's pretty good. If I do say so myself.
Pretty good vibes. Pretty good stuff. Bone says it was all part of Allegri's master plan to bring up the youngsters.
Oh, so do I have to get the tinfoil hat out?
You get the tinfoil hat out. Allegri purposely tore Pogba's meniscus. Marian says Moretti died the day he conceded that penalty in the Champions League.
That's actually a good
That's
observation.
kind of valid. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That is actually pretty valid.
And that wasn't even really his fault. There was nothing he can do there.
Yeah.
He was just kind of falling over. It's just messy.
It was a bonehead poke. And then Buns says, if you put Chiesa on the left wing, keep Kostic as a left back so he doesn't have to bomb up as much. That's true, but can Kostic play defense?
And that's really the question. He could probably do an okay job.
So I'm looking at, I forgot who posted it on Twitter. Damn, I should have saved that image. But somebody had a comparison between Cambiasso and Kostic, like statistic wise, like duels won, challenges won. Like Kostic was, damn, I wish I saved it. I'm sorry, guys. But Kostic won the offensive, and Cambiasso like overwhelmingly beat Kostic on the defensive side.
And so Cambiasso was young too. Like, and remember, defenders kind of mature later.
Yep, I'm a little bit disappointed we weren't able to pull him back because he's something that we would desperately use. But the thing is, also, Bones is I'd rather have Kostic focus on the offense because that's where his game is really good. Like he's good at the offensive game. I'd rather have him focus in on that. Yeah. And then, so Tom says, congratulations on that collaboration. Let's go.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. I love how everyone's going with the let's go now. It's kind of starting, I think. KB definitely really laid in thick with the let's go. But we'll, I don't know. It could be a channel thing. It could be one of our things. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So I'm trying to see if I can find that clip or that image, but apparently they have released the Europa League team, and they said that Fagioli, Moretti, and Sule are on the B list. So I guess that's the youngster list. So they are incorporated into the.
Well, they're allowed to if they're academy.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So it doesn't account to the overall roster.
And then Bones is saying, "No, I'm just sticking to the."
Well, that's I mean, that's one of them. Don't limit yourself, Bones. Expand your horizons.
That's Bones' favorite soundbite.
Oh, that's good too. I started doing it just in life too now.
Homegrown players from the academy. So yeah, homegrown. Yep. Just for those people keeping score.
Yeah, that was the term I was looking for. Thank you, KB.
It's interesting because like we kind of gave you guys the recommended lineup that we thought that we would see, and then it's just like I don't know. There's not really
I'm gonna check to see if there's anything new, but no, it's radio silence right now, guys. There's really nothing. And the game's like what, 18 hours away, something like that. It's not like it's a couple days or anything. We usually have something by now, but I think that's indication that Allegri is still somewhat uncertain.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, so I found that article. I forgot who mentioned about us listening to offers for Vlahovic. So it says Corriere Torino says Juve will only take anything 90 million and above. Good luck on that. Yeah, I'm not trying to sound like an ass here, but like just due to him not being available for most of the season, as well as kind of his, not being super prolific.
It's a return on investment thing, right? It doesn't make sense for them to sell unless they get a certain amount of money.
But, that's the thing, though. That's kind of what I said. Like, they're not going to sell them unless they know for sure that they're going to make a plus Valencia on him. Ironic. But, so that, and then also it looks like Danilo is ready to renew his contract on 2020 until 2026. You know what, Chad? I'm going to ask you this because I've seen some stuff on the internet. Would you guys be okay with Danilo renewing his contract?
I think he epitomizes Juventus more so than any other person on the pitch at this moment.
I agree with that.
And I think on that alone, just on leadership, on presence, and I'm going to assume it's going to be fairly club friendly. I think you have to. Rather him than Bonucci. And we haven't even seen Bonucci for another week or so, really, until we might see him. He's been out for quite a while. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that one. Bonucci, I've never agreed that he was a leader. despite him wearing the armband. And that's the thing. Just because you have a piece of fabric that you wear that indicates you as a captain or what have you, it doesn't actually make you a leader. Just wearing something doesn't make you a leader. And for that, in our current squad composition, it's definitely Danilo for me.
Mm-hmm. So it says Dave double clicked. Yeah, Helicopter says yes, but for 2025, why do the same mistake as Quadrado?
I think it's for 26 actually.
Yeah, but she's
and that
saying
is it's
saying
long.
1 year less. Troy Menard says yes to Danilo, does what he is asked and shows the grit.
But yeah, I would agree with Ellie. Sorry, yeah, I misread that. So she's saying yes, but for 20, that makes sense. A 2-year extension over 3. Yeah.
And then KB says he is probably the only captain material we currently have. I say cut Bonucci and renew Danilo. And then Troy says left back, center back, right back, center defensive midfielder.
Yeah. He's done a lot in the back line for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So this was interesting. So guys, we know that Joe Cancelo apparently had beef with Guardiola and got sent over to Bayern Munich on a 6-month loan with a option to purchase. So I don't understand why there's a bunch of Juventus fans now, because there was a picture of De Ligt and Cancelo walking together. Why people are like pain? Like, what's the big deal over that?
People have emotional attachments to players gone.
Because like the thing is were we kind of caught with like stars in the eyes with Cancelo? Because like I don't know, I never thought of him as a great left back or right back as a defender.
Yeah. No, he is an offensive defender, which is great for Man City.
Yeah, and like I mean, Bayern Munich, nobody plays defense, so he's gonna thrive there. Like, because the reason why, and I'll say this, the reason why I have beef with Cancelo is so the Ajax Champions League game, when Ronaldo gets the header, we go up 1-0. 2 minutes later, he gets nutmegged by Neres, and then Ajax level the game up. He died to me, right? That game as a Juventus player. Because it's like, come on, man. Like, that used to frustrate the hell out of me, man. Because it used to always throw us off formation-wise. Owen says we can, Tom says De Ligt has been very underwhelming for Bayern. Yeah. Well, the funny thing say that, Tom, is my thing with De Ligt was where I really kind of like lost respect for him was during the World Cup, where he requested to be benched because he could not play in a back 3. That was insane.
Yeah.
Instead of playing a left center back, he wanted to play as the starting center back, and you're not going to start over Van Dijk. It just doesn't work that way. It's like I can't play in a back 3. I can't do this. Sorry, guys. And I'm like, wow.
This is the second time we brought up an overhyped Dutch player.
Yeah, I'm sorry. For me, De Ligt mentally is soft. Like he irritates me. Bone says we could use him now as a wing back. Yeah, but he's back and defend. Juventino says Danilo isn't a star player, but he brings grit onto the pitch. He's also stepped up and became the captain of a team during a disastrous season, voted by his teammates.
Yeah,
exactly. I definitely agree with that one. And that's one of my main things where I give kudos to Danilo. And people, and some Juventini criticize that. They're like, oh man, he's the kid. Everyone's saying he's. I'm like, dude, you got to have experienced players in the locker room. You cannot have a full team of 22-year-olds. It just doesn't work that way. You need to have some veteran experience. And right now, who else besides Bonucci is considered a veteran there? Like Sandro, Quadrado, and they're both out the door.
And I'm going to bring up Napoli here. You have Di Lorenzo as their captain. He's not good, really. Yeah. He's okay.
He's mediocre, but he's doing it.
And Napoli are killing it right now. So, and he's a fullback, he's a fullback, right back. Yeah. So I mean, there's a point in case right there.
Yep. And then Lars says for Danilo, I don't have a problem about it. I am an optimist. He's not a problem at the moment, and we can't get 11 new players in one window. Yeah, I'm with you there. Totally agree with you there.
Yeah, nor could we have even, especially this window. Like we're kind of just locked out at the moment.
Yeah. KB says those players went on vacation at Bayern. Who's gonna beat them for the title of Farmers League? Lol. Yeah, it's funny. Their coach is a joke. I'm sorry, Julian Nagelsmann. Like that guy is an absolute bum of a coach. Like he came at us, talked a bunch of smack, and was like, yeah, this Juventus, this and blah blah blah, and then what? You get because he tried trolling us the season that De Ligt went over there, only to lose. Like he lost to the same team in the Champions League that we did. Like he was like, Juve don't train their players properly. Okay, great. That's why you got knocked out by the same Villarreal team. Like seriously. And
So
then
I'm looking at it now. Bayern is only 1 point ahead in the standings. Union Berlin is in
that's
second. That is interesting. Yeah.
If
Awesome.
you're an 80 million valued player, you should be able to adapt. Yeah, that is big. And that's my thing. If you're valued that much, you have to be able to do what you're capable of doing. That's kind of like with my comment with Darwin Nunez. Like if you're rated that much, like you got to ball out. And I have the same thing with Vlahovic if he doesn't perform either. Troy says Allegri wouldn't field a team of 22-year-olds. Yep, but he would field a team of 42-year-olds. And then Juventino says Serie A is a farmers league too. You know what? You're being generous on that one. I think Serie A is a poor man's league right now because any transfer of any team is doing like, I'll pay 20 million over 6 years, or I'll pay like the Pellegrini deal. Lazio is going to be paying us that 15 million over 5 years.
Let me just lay it out this way. If you go to like a farm fresh restaurant in Germany and then you go to one in Italy, whose farmers are better? Which food's better? I mean, if you're going to be a farmer's league, at least eat the bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah, but the problem is our spaghetti's made out of cardboard because we can't afford actual wheat.
Actually, Italy is having trouble with wheat right now. That's not even a joke. Yeah, that's not even a joke. It's because of the war in Ukraine, of course, right? But I mean,
that's the thing. It's just like because right now, finances wise, Serie A is in an absolute crapshoot. Like, yeah, we can say the teams are competitive with each other. Like, yeah, great. Serie A is doing really great as far as league entertainment and competitiveness. And that's why we get bent over and drilled every time we go into a European competition. It took, the funny thing that irritates me is it took Roma going up against part-time professionals in the Conference League to win a European trophy. Like, yeah, they beat Leicester City. They beat a Leicester City, but like that Leicester City was on decline. And like what, Boda Glint? Like, I'm sorry, but like even then, like I'm just sitting there and it's like that's embarrassing because like the thing is like Roma didn't even steamroll through the Conference League. Like they actually struggled through it, even in the knockouts.
But Zaniolo did well.
Yeah, Zaniolo did well.
And then watched the Zaniolo video,
and then 6 months later he gets fired. But but like that's the thing. Like that's what really irritates me. Like even though Serie A's completely screwed Juve over this season, I still want Serie A to do well because I get irritated listening to Premier League fans just like be like, oh my God, Italy's a joke and blah, blah, blah. And I look at them and I'll say, dude, 2021, like, let it go, bro. You lost. But like, I just, it irritates me because it's like Italian football was one of the staple footballs of a very long time.
Of the 90s.
Of the 90s. I would say the 80s, the 90s, even.
It died in 2006.
It died in 2006. All because Inter was petty because they spent money and couldn't win shit, and they still can't win shit.
You know what also died in 2006? Rock and roll with Nickelback.
Yeah. Yeah. And
them Canadian too. They ruined it.
They're the Nicolas Cage of music.
Oh man, Nickelback, Nicolas Cage. They are the same thing. Oh my God.
That's it. But like the thing is, it's just like it irritates me because it's like I'm gonna be honest with you guys. What style of football does the Premier League play? Anything like chat? Feel free to answer it. Like, what style do they do?
It's mostly attacking. Big,
strong people blast the ball to the wings, press to win the ball back, and that's it. Like Spain has flair. Like I'll give Spain this. Like I'm not a big fan of Spain or La Liga, but like they have flair. They have technique, dribbling technique, intricate passing and movements. It's tiki-taka. It's the birthplace of tiki-taka. Yeah. France, I don't think France really has a style. I think theirs is just wave the white flag and run away. Like that's their style. Like fold whenever things get rough. PSG is a prime example of that. And then Germany and England are the same thing. They both do a high press. My guys are bigger and stronger than your guys, so we'll run farther than you guys. Like there's no tactics. Like it's just pure offense and outscore the opponent. There's no thought process in their game. Yeah, it's entertaining to the viewer, to the neutral fan, because you're just seeing bangers after bangers. But like, I don't know. For me, it's like I look at it and I like I like watching games from like a tactical aspect so I can learn something. So I'm like watching it.
Basically, what it is the EPL in a lot of senses is kind of like pop music. It really appeals to the larger population. But say you're actually educated in music and you're a student of it and you love the intricacies of it. Are you gonna listen to who could I trash on? Help me out here.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Okay, Taylor Swift. Perfect example. Thank you. I mean, no, I don't think she's going to be on the top of the list. She's not up there with Bach, for instance. You know, if I was just to throw out a legend of music, and it's just similar to that.
Yeah, and and look, I'm going to be honest. I absolutely despise Barcelona. I do not like Barcelona. So Barca fan, I'm sorry, but like,
so go fuck yourself.
No, and not even that. I'm not even going to diss Barcelona, but like Barcelona had so much flair. Like their play style was incredible. Like they weren't like, they had the greatest players. They did. But those players knew how to play the game. They're smart, like their intelligence level. Like, for example, FC Barca fan can confirm this in the chat. Like, could you imagine that midfield trio of Busquets, Iniesta, and Xavi? Those guys were already 3 steps ahead of where the play was going to be, where the action was going to be. Those 3 were always a triangle whenever they played. Same thing, like, for example, watching Pep, how he coached that team. And like, I'll give Pep credit to this. Like, the guy is a tactical genius. Like, it's fun to watch how he organizes his teams.
Well, until he over tacticalizes in the Champions League final.
Yeah, until he like overthinks it. But like, man, like Barcelona, man, like, and that's the one thing I give credit to La Liga was like, everyone emulated that Barcelona style. So like La Liga's dominance in the 2010s to the 2020s, like all of those teams kind of played an excerpt or a similar style to Barcelona, where they had those flare dribbles, those intricate passing lanes and all that stuff. For me, and it's like, and he says it too, like Barca fan says it, EPL has the most money, so the best players. Yeah, but those players don't know what the hell they're doing half the time.
Yeah, like, and example, it coaches. Sorry, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just classic squad composition, right? Like,
yeah.
And I mean, if you watch other sports, I like to always point out the New York Rangers in the 90s and the 2000s, how they just had the largest budget and just threw money at players, and they did absolutely nothing with it.
Yeah,
and that's a closed league.
And the thing is, it's like, for example, I think the only 2 teams in the Premier League that have an actual style are Pep's Man City and Ten Hag's Man U. And even like Ten Hag's Man U is literally just a carbon copy of what Klopp did at Liverpool, just with younger players. Because it's like, why is it that Carlo Ancelotti, an old outdated tactician, can go in there and beat Man City and Liverpool in the Champions League last season? Like, how is that even remotely possible? Because the dude schemed it. He's like, okay, this is what these guys do. Hey, I know, like, for example, against Liverpool. Hey, I know Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to push up really high up, and let me catch him outside of position. Boom, 1 goal, and then just bunker down and hunker down. Because, like, the thing is, like, Liverpool doesn't have a style. They don't have an amazing build-up play. They just attack the space behind you. It's the same thing with Napoli. Like, yeah, Napoli's doing an amazing season. They deserve to be in first place, and all the credit to them. But imagine when they play against a team that's got a lead on them in the Champions League. What are they going to do? Because the thing
we'll find out pretty quickly.
We're going to find out quick. I'm sure they're going to make it into the quarterfinals for sure. But like,
who is it that they're playing again?
They're playing Frankfurt. They're playing Kostic's old team. So like, the thing is here is like, and I kind of want to say this is like, yes, Napoli's doing really, really good, but I also think Serie A is really, really bad this year.
Yes.
Like there's just a huge level of inconsistency. It's like
Inter's not great. Milan chat the bed. Juve, whatever the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, we're completely owned. And then Roma's like 2 games away from imploding because Mourinho always has an implosion with every team that he's at.
He's lost 2 players this season.
Yeah, and he's probably going to blame all of the intricacies on those 2 players. Yes. So it's like
Karsdorp and Zaniolo are the reason why Roma's not going to do anything.
Yeah, so it's like it's all the big team, like, again, and, people are making the Leicester City example, and, I totally get it. But, like, yeah, it's just like Spalletti's not, like, an amazing tactician. Like, dude, He's like Pioli. Like, he got streaky and then that's it. And now Pioli came back down to earth. Helicopter says, speaking of Mourinho, imagine Mourinho at Juve. Which players would you believe Mourinho would have beef with?
Paredes.
Paredes. I would say, knowing him, he would probably beef with Chiesa. It wouldn't surprise
Probably.
me.
I
He would
thought of that
beef-
and I didn't want to like think too, but yeah, he would.
Yeah. And then Bone says he hates Pogba. Yeah. he
Yeah,
would
there
beef
you
with-
go. Yeah.
Yeah, he would beef with Pogba. I'm sure he'd probably beef with Bonucci. It wouldn't surprise me. Because if Allegri beefed with Bonucci, it wouldn't surprise me that. And then Tom says Spalletti's Inter was soulless.
Inter has no soul.
Yeah. That's why they tried sucking ours out in 2006. But yeah, I don't know. Like, the thing is like, it's only a matter of time before Napoli's world comes crumbling down. Because the thing is, it's like Spalletti's not an incredible tactician. He's just kind of doing what the Premier League teams do. It's a high press, create chances out of the high press. Or, have Kvaratskhelia just spam balls in from the wing. It's not like, again, it's not an intricate breakdown. Like, for example, what Pep Guardiola does is an intricate breakdown of another team. Like, he completely breaks you down. Prime Allegri used to do that. 2015 to 2018, Allegri would do that. Like, Allegri was a mastermind at being able to mess with your head. Doesn't really do that much. And then, to be honest with you, I don't understand how people thought that Maurizio Sarri was like a tactician, like an amazing coach. Like, I never got that. I know we've completely veered off to coaches, but it's an interesting thing to say the least.
Certainly is. We never stop talking about the coaches. Jeez. So it's never ending. I think football more so than any other sport. I feel we talk about the coaches. I don't know. What do you think? I know football, like NFL, they do, but I just feel like
What do you think?
Feel like it's a lot in football, especially in Italian football, because they're all characters.
Yeah, well, the thing is too is like, I don't know. So in American sports, the coach is like the last person they talk about. Like, honestly, when it comes to it, like, for example, the only time that someone really says this coach blows and needs to get fired is like after 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Here in Serie A, if he sucks in 4 games, he usually gets sacked. Yeah. That's one of those things where I kind of hate it, where I really kind of get annoyed, is like, you get coaches that are terrible coaches, but that can like do something stupid and bring instant success. It's not sustainable. It's instant. Mm-hmm. And like, they get touted as like an amazing coach, like Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
Like the guy brings you instant success, but he like implodes your team.
Zero long game.
The dude comes in, makes like 18 million a season and then bounces.
Yeah.
Like, he is legitimately the biggest con artist when it comes to coaching. Like, he had 3 good seasons with us, but like, even then you could argue that like everyone else sucked in Serie A and like we were really good those first 3 seasons with Conte.
Yeah.
Because it's like, for me, I always like to use Europe as like your measuring stick. Because it's like, you can dominate a league, but you could totally suck in Europe. Like, for example, Shakhtar Donetsk was amazing in Ukraine, but just, didn't work out in Europe. And then Tom says, what do you think happened to Allegri? Is it complacency? I think it's a little bit of complacency. And the other thing too is I think he's just worn out as far as tactics go, as far as how he kind of does his things. Because like,
yeah.
And I don't want to say that Allegri was made because of the back 3 of Bonucci, Chiellini, and Barzagli, but like, even with Milan, so like, nobody kind of like, a lot of people don't know about this, but like, his last season with Milan where he got sacked, he lost Thiago Silva, and which is essentially their best center back that they had at the time. Like, they lost a lot of good center backs, and then Milan kind of just became mediocre and he ended up getting sacked.
Yeah.
So I just, for me, and I've always had this issue where with Allegri, and with all respect to the guy and what he's done, is I've never seen him build a team from scratch. I've only seen him take a great team and make it better. Like, Allegri's the kind of guy that can take a good team and make it better. Like, if you give him a crap team, he's not really sure on what to do, because I don't see him as a guy that builds a team up. Like, for example, and I said this one stream where I said Conte can bring a team from the pits to make him good, but he could never get him over the hump. That was Conte's issue. Yeah. Like, if you were a manager, I would get Conte and still discipline, do whatever I need to do to get the team going. And then you get an Allegri that essentially tinkers or takes it's like a Carlo Ancelotti. Think about it. Like you build that Madrid team, make it a beast, and then you throw a guy like Carlo Ancelotti to manage it and take it to the next step. That's really kind of what it is. And like Tom says, it used to be brilliant. Yeah. And that's kind of, we're starting to learn the case that I think Allegri was kind of made more so from the players than Allegri making the players. Troy says Nick Saban got bounced from the NFL quick. Yeah, him and Urban Meyer. It's just the NFL's not for those guys. It's just the way that the coach, it doesn't work for him.
Yeah, it's just not the norm for the NFL to do that.
Yeah. And then Juventino MC says, what do you guys think about Gasparini getting to restart Juve next season? So here's a good question. And I actually like this question a lot. So Juventino, my thing with Gasparini is this. So Gasparini can do something that has never been done at Juve. And that's take players from next gen and the reserve squad and actually sell them or flip them for a profit or make them credible for a system. So Gasparini can do that. He can take a bunch of nobodies and turn them into something. Because, guys, everyone's trying to buy Atalanta players. Like, a lot of people have, and they've tried and they've done it. And the thing is he's found ways to adjust. I mean, selling Malinowski is huge, and they were able to bring it back in. Like, for example, Zapata has injury issues. Boom, here comes Lookman.
That guy is
so it's
crazy.
like Gasparini is very, very good at that.
Yeah.
My issue with Gasparini is the guy does have a very bad ego issue because he fought with Gomez. He fought with Illich. The thing is, he's also fought with Atalanta's board. So my thing is for him is like, if he is willing, if him and whoever the sporting director is are on the same page and work together, it would be incredible because then you would sell extra next gen players that are first team quality, but just don't fit Juve. You could sell them for 15, 20 minutes. So like the thing is like
sell them for minutes or millions.
I'm sorry. I said
okay.
Millions. But like you could do that. Like if you wanted to have, like, for example, if Juve wants to focus in on the young Juve, Gasparini is a guy that would actually fit the bill for that because he can take young players and convert them. But the catch is what Tom says right here is Gasparini teams can't defend. That is actually one of the big problems about him as well. The thing is with that is, yeah, they can't defend or do anything like that, but you have that. My main issue for him is him fighting with the board. Because look, if we're winning games 4-3, 3-2, no one's really going to care as long as you have more wins than losses. But the thing is like, if we bring in Gasparini and then he fights with whoever the sporting director is or with the president of the club, then we're kind of like, well, fuck, man, what do we do?
And that's in flux as well right now. So we don't even know if we could line that up.
Yeah, he's an interesting figure. Like I'd be curious to see what he would do.
He's definitely good on the short list.
Gasparini is definitely one of those guys that can build a squad up from the ground up, and that's something that we kind of need essentially because we don't really have a foundation yet. Like, yeah, Chiesa is a pillar. Yeah, Dusan's a pillar, but you have pillars. You don't have a foundation set yet. KB says, who do we go for? Honestly, which coach can step in and help the players grow? I don't think Conte is a healthy choice. I'd rather take Sotil or the Monza coach who is an ex-Juve player. So the problem is, like, for example, the problem is with taking with some of these no-name coaches or like these rookie coaches is getting your team to respect them. Because the thing is if you bring in a Sotil or if you bring in the Monza coach, even though he's a former Juventini,
Raphael, I just had his name. Raphael Palladino.
The problem is whether or not your team can actually, like, your players will respect the guy. Because, like, for example, Maurizio Sarri is one of those guys where, like, he came in and the team didn't respect this dude. The team thought he was a bum.
Yeah.
So, like, that was one of the issues there. Troy says, I guess you could park the bus with the back line that he inherited. Probably. Yeah. Oh, he's talking about Allegri. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where I thought that's why Allegri was able to really succeed that original stint. Bone says, I feel like Gasparini team could keep the pressure so they don't have to defend. And with Atalanta, it doesn't have the bench to keep it up.
It's a good point.
That is a very good point. I'm actually curious to see how that might actually work. Tom says this. Do you feel that Juve are stuck being rooted in old Italian style of football, whether we value our defense? It's a sense of pride having clean sheets. Well, it used to be. That is a good question.
I feel like there is certainly some of that sentiment, even amongst the fans. Absolutely.
Because the thing is like, like for example, guys, what is the initial impression when someone talks about Juve defense?
History,
Having
and that's part of club identity as well.
Yep. So that's one of those things, and I could see that, but the thing is right now, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's not really that much elite defenders. Like for example, if you compare the top defenders of the 2000s and the 90s to now, like yeah, the defenders of today can dribble, can pass the ball, but as far as defense, they suck.
Yeah,
Like the
it's
thing is,
they've-
because the thing is, and I don't mean to pick on Trent Alexander-Arnold or Robertson
it's
or
easy.
Cancelo, but like the thing is like Klopp says this guy's a midfielder and I'm just putting him in a right back position. That already tells you that they don't really value old school defending. Or like for example, Virgil van Dijk, yes, he got injured, but like you look at him now, not really anything great. Same thing with De Ligt, not really anything crazy. So like you see it where it's like you see like these mediocre defenders get touted as like the best defenders out there, where it's like you look at them and you're kind of like, because we're used to like elite defenders, and with Chiellini, with Bonucci, with Cannavaro, with all those guys, like we're used to seeing really good defending, even with Maldini and Nesta. Like credit to those guys. So like we were spoiled with like high level defending. So it's like you look at some of these like world's greatest defenders currently right now.
Yeah,
There's not really, because like for example, what Bastoni's being touted as like a great center back, and he's mediocre.
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, he's okay. He's not like not the greatest, not the worst. So it's just like it looks like the modern football is just kind of going away from that kind of like that 1-0, because there's just not the defenders for it.
Yeah, and Tom's right here. I feel like the club would prefer a 2-0 win over a 6-3, for example.
Yeah, they say that.
Or 1-0 even.
They say, here's the interesting thing about that, Tom, because it's almost like a paradox. They say that now, but once you start getting 6 goals a game consistently and you start seeing a bunch of new fans start piling in, you see a bunch of new ads and a bunch of that coming in, the club will forget it. Because Atalanta, that's seriously with Atalanta. Because like, what put Atalanta on the map? 8-goal games, 5-goal games, 6-goal games. So it's like you have that, and it's just like everyone's losing their mind over it and they're tuning in for it. So yeah, the club will, the club again, its roots will say, yeah, 2-0 games are incredible. They're amazing. But then once they start seeing a bunch of viewers pop up, more people going to the Juve store, more people buying jerseys, more people buying this, they'll forget about 2-0.
And we see that in North American sports where they gradually change the rules to allow more offense.
Yeah.
Or to prevent the defense from being as effective.
Yeah, look at the NFL. Roughing the passers, like the easiest call. The quarterback, all that, you can't hit a certain way. You can't hit receivers in a certain way. They're doing it because offense sells money, sells TV deals, sells viewers.
I mean, NBA never really had that issue. It's a high scoring sport, but the NHL was a lot like football back in the day. You'd have like a lot of 2-1 games, stuff like that. Then they started doing things like no 2-line passes. Then they reduced the size of the crease, so you would have less goalie interference, so you can get in there and dig out more goals. And all of a sudden, you had like these 8-6 games happening, and people were like, "This is amazing." Yeah. So,
but like you look at the Premier League with how the players are moving there. You get 4-3 score lines, you get 3-2 score lines. Everyone's watching that stuff, and they want to watch it. Bone says, "I think the speed of the attack and the amount of places you can attack from is a lot harder to defend nowadays." Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, but you also got to remember physicality too. Like, yeah, the offensive players are getting more physical, but they're also yeah.
And like the defensive guys are massive. Like going back to De Ligt, look at the guys' quads.
Look at how big Bremer. Look how huge Bremer is.
They're big dudes.
Then Tom says Koulibaly hasn't lived up to his ability at Chelsea. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, we haven't heard much about him really. He hasn't been in the news.
And then Juventino says Gasparini's defense is also made up of Palomino and Toloi. We have good center back prospects. Huijsen could possibly become someone like Scalvini. You're right on that one. And that's one of those, I believe someone made a comment saying, watch him perform with our depth. So like my thing is like, I am not anti Gasparini. My only concern is how will he gel with the board?
Yeah.
because that's the one thing I'm a little bit concerned with. And my other thing, my secondary concern with is how will players like Pogba gel with him? Danilo, Pogba, Bonucci. I don't think Chiesa and Vlahovic would really give him that much stick, in my opinion. But like, for example, a Pogba or someone like that, that's because like the thing is the reason why Pogba came back was because Allegri's the coach. That's like one of the main reasons why he came back to Juve. Tom says, then again, the score comment I made would have meant that we still end up having a better goal difference.
That
Which is
would.
true. We
Yeah,
would.
absolutely. But it's just the mindset.
Yeah. And then Troy says, bit off topic, but what kit are we wearing tomorrow? I will try to match up. They have not confirmed the kit for tomorrow, but I'm assuming it's the black and white stripes.
So they don't really tell you. If you've noticed, if you've ever watched Bepe's or watch along streams, just as the team is coming out, and when he first finds out, that's when you first find out what jerseys they're wearing. And Beppe always goes off screen, changes into that jersey, and then comes back on screen. So it's literally like 10 minutes before the match we find.
So it's like we don't even know. They don't even tell us, guys. And then Lars comes in with the cheeky comment.
Shot
clock.
No.
That would be interesting because then it would change the game to counterattacking. It wouldn't even be possession based because
it would completely change it.
Yeah, could you imagine calling that? It's like if you waste a shot clock, it's a penalty for the other team. Wow.
Unless it was like 2 or 3 minutes or something.
Yeah.
But basketball's 24 seconds for just a
the thing is basketball is probably one of the fastest besides hockey. It's like definitely one of the fastest paced sports.
Yeah.
Because it's like, could you imagine if you start going on runs where you're just going back and forth, both teams
hockey and basketball are essentially the same sport. 5 guys, smaller area, high
burgers
pace. Burgers and fries.
Yeah. So hockey, because like hockey is a faster paced football in a sense, but yeah. I'm actually surprised. So he says, I'm surprised MLS didn't try that in the 90s. You know, I have a hot take and an unpopular opinion. I actually liked how MLS did shootouts in the 90s for penalty kicks. Their penalty kicks were interesting.
They've changed the rules a few times in that league.
So what they did was, so for you guys in the chat, if you guys aren't old enough, in the 90s, what the MLS would do in a penalty shootout, so the ball would start at midfield. You have 5 touches to take the ball from the midfield to the goal and score. And the goalkeeper,
I didn't watch the MLS back then. I should watch some tape. That's wild.
So the goalkeeper could score, or the goalkeeper could come out anywhere. So let me see if I can find a video.
When was that? What was the time frame on that?
It was the 90s.
Yeah, that's when it was for. Yeah, because Toronto didn't even have a team yet. That's probably why I didn't care.
Yeah,
it's like non-existent to me.
I wonder if I can. Can I show YouTube like a YouTube clip without YouTube being pissed?
I think it's up to like 7 or 8 seconds. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find something that's not YouTube. But like, yeah, they were absolutely wild. And then Lars says, and then MLS had a few goalkeeper battles. Don't know how they came up, but it's ridiculous.
That's actually another thing that happens a lot in, say, hockey, North American sports. The keepers like to fight. They get in there once in a while.
All right, cool. So I found a Twitter video. So I will show you guys this on Twitter. So just bear with me, folks. Hopefully it doesn't lag.
The Dallas burn.
All right, so here we go. So this is a perfect iteration of it. See if I can do it full screen. So this is what it would be. They would start dribble, take. You had a limited amount of touches. It's kind of like hockey, if you guys have seen hockey. But that's how a shootout would occur. So like players.
This is exactly like hockey.
Yeah, 35 yards out, you have 5 seconds to shoot. So like it actually took a lot more skill to score them.
And are you surprised there's a Budweiser ad?
Yeah. So I don't know. You guys go ahead, chip your thing. What do you guys think about it? I was okay with it. I don't mind this. I think it's interesting because
90s football, that account's awesome.
Yeah. So like it's definitely a lot more different. So like again here, 5 seconds, you take it.
It's a good angle too.
Once you shoot it, it's it. Like you don't get the rebound. So like once you put the shot in, you get it. So 35 yards out, you dribble it in. I bet you that would change it differently back then for sure, huh?
Yeah. But I mean, MLS in the 90s.
Yeah, it was a banter league. It's kind of like KB says, it's definitely a banter league back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, I kind of think that's interesting because, when I was younger, when I was playing on a team, they actually had us do that, even though we never had a penalty shootout like that. But like it was like a way to practice on one-on-ones where they had
Yeah.
us do that. It is a lot harder. I think
Interesting.
PKs are easy, in my opinion. I think PKs are the easiest thing, but I'm a striker. So for me, it's like whatever.
It's your
And then
thing.
FC Barca says, what stops the player from chipping the keeper? Nothing. They could. It's
Yeah.
just people couldn't do it. Because the thing is you had 5 seconds. So like you kind of you had to cover 35 yards in 5 seconds. So like some players kind of just go in there with an idea of what they're going to do. Some players don't. So you're going in from the 35-yard line. So it's kind of tough sometimes to chip. Because the problem is like when you kick the ball, that's it. Like when you make a shot attempt and it touches the goalkeeper, it's a dead ball. So that was the rule. So like chipping, you can do it. I haven't seen a clip where someone did it. It's just, again, it's one of those things where you're going to have to chip from a really, really long distance. And the thing is like, say that you chip it from outside the box, the goalkeeper can get back up and go back and swat it out.
And to rebuttal KB87, he has, because I've played it with him. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you want me to say? He has.
And then KB says, I feel the goal size should be swat for narrow goals when it comes to shootouts to start at the edge of the box and move forward. I guess.
The logistics of it though seems tricky.
Yeah.
It sounds good on paper, but
yeah, I was gonna say, could you imagine like mid game? Yeah, guys, all right, we got to switch the nets out. Sorry.
Imagine Salernitana having to find a second net.
I don't, because it was funny because like the MLS did a poll recently about it. Like, should we bring this back? And everyone's like, no. Why? I like it. I think I'm like,
because MLS fans want to be legitimized as something serious.
Yeah,
They
but
wanna
I'm saying
compete with
that
Europe.
shootout seems pretty awesome though.
But they want to legitimize themselves, and if they continue this, they're gonna go back to being a joke because they do this other rule that isn't what people in the rest of the world do.
Lars says get the Chinese
Yeah.
angles. Hey, you know what's funny, Lars? So when I host pickup in the summer, I actually get like the 3x4 nets out, and because I have adjustable nets and they're 3 feet by 4 feet. And I would put them in the 10v10 nets, the big nets, and everyone would get pissed at me. And they're like, why are you putting those in? I'm like, I know that all of you guys can't shoot for shit, so you guys need to practice this anyways. And they're like, what? I was like, none of you guys can play goalkeeper. And I ain't about to shag all of the shots that you guys pull from 40 yards out thinking you guys can bend it. So we're running with the tiny training goals. And it's funny because they wouldn't even hit those, which is hilarious. Tom says, I still find it weird how football pitches can be different sizes.
It's just because the sport is so old, and back in the day there was regulations or there was like different leagues, and later on they kind of joined to become what they are now, for instance, and different throughout each country, of course, like Valencia, as he says here.
Yeah.
And that's because they're in the lagoon, like they got no spot. There's nowhere else they can build it.
I was gonna say, you can only, and that's the funny thing too, because that's one of the reasons why Italy can't host an international tournament, because their stadiums are a joke.
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, Beppe, like he roasted Venezia last night on his live stream. It was so funny. He's like, you can't play an international game at Vienza. Like half of you will be in the lagoon and the other half of you will be in the stadium. I was laughing so hard.
It is a cool looking spot though.
It is. It's a cool stadium, but like again, it's just not up there. Are you gonna?
They were the hipster club. Yeah, they were the hipster club last year.
Yeah, dude, they had some interesting jerseys last year too.
I wasn't a big fan. People were going crazy over it.
It was unique. It was something. See, even Tom says their kits were fire.
It was okay.
Bones about to say, "All right, boomer."
Well, because I didn't like their sparkly whatever. Like, whatever. I don't like it.
Dave's like,
oh, that's not the one I want to share. No, I don't hate it. It just didn't do much for me. I shared the wrong screen. Sorry. I'll get it. Sorry, guys. I'm struggling.
Come on, Dave.
I'm struggling. Here it is. Okay. Stadio Pierluigi Penzo. So, yeah, literally in there. Let's go back. Venezia Stadium. That's not the greatest angle.
It looks like a brochure. I love how there's like
Uh,
a new stadium. Are they building a new stadium? I didn't
in
know they were.
Venezia?
Yeah, see that concept
think
of
so.
art above you?
Oh, this thing
JC
reveals
tags
whole
in and says,
plans.
"Come on, Dave."
About what?
Man.
The Venezia jersey?
Yeah, Joseph Carballo just wants to give you shit.
Oh, what? Oh, because I made fun of him. Which jersey did he buy that I made fun of? Oh, it was last year's blue, white, and yellow one. It's the
Oh,
third kit. Yeah, he bought that, and I
the
made fun
Piedmont,
of him.
the Piedmont colors.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that one, but I that's why they have different kits. It's just I'm more traditional, I suppose, in that sense. But I like okay,
Yeah,
so for instance,
you got to be careful, man. Bones is gonna come in here and say, "You mean boomerist, not traditionalist?"
no, I'm very much like a muted colors kind of guy. Or like basic primary colors. I'm not into I'm simple. I'm just a simple dude. What do you want me to say? It's just how it is. I like to keep it
He
simple.
just says he came to Dash saying, "Come on, Dave, you came to that." Ooh.
He just came to.
JC says, "Hey, that was a nice jersey,
I
Dave."
know you like it. I was just making fun of you at the time for fun, but I mean, to each their own. If you like the jersey, just fucking wear the jersey. I mean, that's it. Wear what you want, man. A Kappa kit.
Yeah, it
No,
was a
I don't
Kappa
mind
kit.
Kappa. It was just like the sparkly kind of like the little triangle pattern. It just didn't do it for me.
So Juventino is asking favorite jersey of all time.
Okay. I got a few. Jerseys. Like, how about
I'm
you?
gonna, I can show you guys one right there. That
Oh,
is
the Davids one.
the '96 Edgar. This is the one that we won the Champions League in.
Yeah. Okay. Juventus. Was it I think it was the 2001.
And then
It's the Del Piero. Do I always screw this up? It's the Del Piero one that had the yellow. Fuck. Okay. And you know what?
just type in yellow. Yeah, just type in Del Piero yellow jersey.
It wasn't the yellow. It was I'll fucking find it. I always screwed up. That was one of it. Yeah, it was these ones with the yellow numbers in it that I like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those guys. The other one, I like the green. That was that 15. The green one.
Look at the golden one.
That one too. That was
The one, because
2010.
that's what JC is saying. He liked the gold jersey where Del Piero got the ovation at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, it was 2010 gold. Yeah, that one's cool.
The New Holland Fiat.
Yeah, and I think it's the 2015 green.
And then
Not that one. No.
FC Barca fan says the goals are so large in 11v11 that chipping should be easy. I guess it depends on how good the player touches and how good the keeper reacts. Yeah, but remember though, FC Barca fan, you got to go 35 yards in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So like most NFL players can run a 40 in 4.3 seconds. So like doing 5 seconds, 35 yards in 5 seconds with the ball is a lot harder. So like you might be coming at it with too much speed. So like chipping, that's why they were a little bit more concerned with chipping. So yeah, that's one of those things. So you just got to take that into account for it because it seems easy, but like try it yourself. Like try testing yourself at the 35-yard line and then try going at it, trying to do something at 5 seconds. It's a lot more difficult than it seems. JC says bright colors hurts his eyes.
You know what it actually is? The actual like reasoning. I'm like, so the wall color, for instance, is a bright blue. The one in front of me is just flat black. So I'm slightly colorblind, and I don't see a lot of like nuanced shades. A lot of times, it's a red or green red colorblind. They call it. It's common. It's not that I can't see colors, but certain shades don't really pop for me. So for me, I'm all about like bold contrast. So like black and white obviously works very well for me, right?
Troy is telling us to look at the 2012 black kit. That was awesome.
2012. But yeah, sorry, it's 2017 green. That's the one I liked. And even this, I think the Palace one, that one was cool. But sorry, which one I'm looking at?
2012 Juventus black kit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the black kits too, to be honest.
You know which one was really cool was the black kit that we wore in the 15-16 season.
2015. Oh, with the gold, absolutely. I
that one
love black and
that.
gold.
This one was my favorite Juventus kit.
Yeah,
I
and
love
because
that
I
one.
love black and gold, which by the way is the Turin Giants colors.
Yep.
But I know, don't hate me for this one. Like the classic Madrids with the black and gold.
It's like 2008, 2009. That's
This
old.
one's
old.
not. This one's 1920. That's a
Really?
trainer.
Oh, that's the trainer.
Yeah, trainer. But like just in general, the way that they do their black and gold, I'm a fan of.
Yeah, Madrid always had fire training kits. Like their tracksuits are really, really good. JC
like
says, "I knew it. You can't judge. I don't ever want to hear you hate on my jersey again." He also says this. JC says, "I have the Buffon green jersey with the Unico."
Oh, nice. And the one I like, my brother has it, and he's not even a huge football guy, but the blue Buffon, what is that, 18? That one, this guy. I like that jersey.
That one was dope too.
Yeah, I like that. And well, that's McKenny. That's the year we got McKenny.
Yeah, that was the Pirlo season.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that kit.
You made KB throw up with the Madrid stuff.
I'm just talking about the design, the style, like whatever. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Nike goalkeeper jerseys. Let's look those up.
Say, good thing we're not doing the Juve Twitch because Juve would be pissed. They'd be like, "What are you doing? Stop showing Nike stuff." But that's you got to type in Juventus goalkeeper jerseys. You just pulled up straight up swimsuits and Toronto Raptors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this one too. I don't mind.
Could you look at that one up there with the green and
this?
Yeah.
2010-11. Is this what we're referencing right now? Is these guys?
That's funny. That one wasn't bad.
Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, I'm not necessarily a fan of that. It looks very 90s for a 2010 jersey.
Yeah, that's very extra.
Like if that was in the 90s jersey, I'd be like, yeah, that looks 90s.
You know,
but it's 2010.
That's the funny thing about the 90s jerseys. They're like the most creative, but like the material was trash.
Oh, they were so bad. This one, I want to get this one with Julio Grosso. I think these ones look phenomenal on the female team.
She wears it though.
No, I know, but I want to get that jersey.
Oh.
Just saying, because like if I was to get this red jersey, this year's third kit, it would have to be one of the female names on it, which is obviously going to be Grosso.
This one, the zebra. So the third kit in the 2016-2017 season.
It's not horrible. I get where they were going with that one, the whole zebra thing.
Hey, click on Higuain. I think that's the beer belly picture that KB's talking about.
Maybe. He had it when he was playing the MLS as well.
Yeah. JC says the jersey that we wore when we got Krasic was horrible. White, red with a green zigzag down the middle. Oh, hey, hit back because it was hit back on your thing because I think I saw it previously. Just go back. Hit the back button. All right, scroll down. Keep going. Yep, that one right there.
This?
Yes.
That's not horrible.
White, red, and green zigzags. I might be wrong. That might not actually be the one he was referring to then.
I don't know. There really is so many. It's that guy again.
Then KB says Hernandez as MVP. Guy kicked it. Karate kick to the defender. Troy says I've been trying to get the zebra kit. I can't find one without a player or in my size.
So I just bought some jerseys off Etsy. I'm pretty sure they're not official. I'm not going to try to lie to myself. If they are official when I get them, I'll be happy. It's going to be like 6 weeks. But I think if you looked on some of these, maybe not as primary sites, because here, I don't know. Let's just do it since we're down here. Etsy Juventus jerseys. I guess I need to go
Yeah, you might want to. Yeah, I was gonna say you might want to actually go to the actual site.
So I just bought this Vialli one and this Del Piero one. That's the one specifically that I like.
Holy shit, $76.
Canadian, yeah. So it's like $50 American. That's
KB
why I don't know. Like I said, if these are official.
Yeah. KB says we used a few Juve kits for our indoor team.
Nice.
JC says there's that one site that does the classic jerseys, but I never know if they're legit or not. I think they're based in the UK. Look, the way that I see it is if it's not coming from the Juve store, it's probably not legit. Unless it's coming from Adidas or
Adidas,
Juve.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like this one, the German one, 1990 Germany.
Because the one thing is, I know Juve for sure has like a certain way where like you can tell whether or not a jersey is legit or not, because they have like stitching and patching that like none of the like additional stores or like these suppliers can replicate. And it's like if you go to any Juve person, like any Juve employee, they'll be able to like pick it out in a heartbeat. It's actually kind of funny.
Oh, I didn't know Fiorentina had a Nintendo one. That's awesome. Of course, it's $125.
That was back in the 90s,
98, 99, yeah.
Yeah, it was on the N64 was at its peak.
Man, and I did play GoldenEye there the other night.
Oh, dude, I got it on my Xbox. The funny thing is as a kid, I had a hard time playing it. I could never beat it. But now as like an adult, I'm like going through the levels and I just have like this sense of like ego where I'm like,
yeah, I'm so good. I was like that until I died being cocky and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that's the problem is like because I've been playing it at 00 difficulty, like 007,
really?
the highest difficulty. Yeah. So it's like I'm cruising through the first couple of missions, and I like do something stupid and I die, and I'm like, shit. And then I try the mission again, die again. Do the mission again, die again. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Oh, 00 is hard.
Yeah.
Look, there's the Nedved for 95.
Yeah, the thing that I hated about it, Dave, is like it gives you all these extra tasks and it doesn't tell you how to do them.
No, and that's one thing I found. That's how I ended up dying. It's like, okay, I used to be able to just rip through here, and I was actually playing on easy mode just to kind of like get used to it again. And I was starting to go just through muscle memory from like 25 years ago. I was like, oh, isn't there supposed to be something here? Where's this? Yeah, it was weird. But
yeah,
that's
it was a funny thing. Like I had to redo a mission like 2 or 3 times because I didn't know where to put the modem. Like it was like put the encrypted modem on the satellite or something like that. I'm like, I've been throwing it out. I kid you not, guys. I spent 45 minutes yeeting the modem at the actual thing on the actual like satellite, and then I was like, oh shit, I have to put it on the panel, not the fucking satellite. I just wasted an hour. JC says, oh sorry, go ahead, Dave.
No, sorry, just Bones. If you want to call me a boomer, now's about the appropriate time because I'm talking about a game that I played the shit out of when I was 11 years old. So
I bet you Bones plays it too. So
probably he's a boomer.
Yeah. JC says, I don't know if y'all talked about it, but how long do you think we're going to be mid-table until we get another Conte to dig us out? Till the end of the season.
Yeah, I think
if there's a coaching change, it's going to be at the end of the season. Oh, Bones comes in and says, Boomer.
We need a soundbite or something for that one.
Boomer says, what game are we talking about? 007, GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Yeah, they released it on Switch and Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, so JC, if you have Game Pass, you can play GoldenEye. It's part of the rare replay.
Yes. Who was it that mentioned it? Our last live. And I knew it was supposed to be coming out, but then when it actually did, there you go. Thank you, Lars. Yeah, I've been waiting for it for
I was going to say,
years.
Lars, because of you, I almost forgot to edit videos and do Turin Giant stuff because I've been trying to play GoldenEye in my spare time. So I blame. If there's any delays on videos, guys, you can blame Lars for it.
You know what's great though? I thought we played on Sunday for whatever reason. I looked again today. It's like, oh no, we don't play till Tuesday. I got all weekend.
Oh shoot! Yeah, JC says, yeah, I got Game Pass. Hey man, you better get on that and download that.
Up. Oh, we need to get each other on Game Pass.
We should.
Yeah,
can we play multiplayer on Game Pass, or is that only on Switch where you're able to do the multiplayer?
I think local.
Yeah, I think
you can do, but just in general. I mean, you can do whatever.
Yeah, I gotcha. Gotta go.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it's been 2 hours. I think.
Yeah, we've been going, guys. Yeah, we've been going on for a while. We've been rambling. But
I start at work at 6 a.m. tomorrow, so I can leave in time to get my ass back here so I can stream. So,
you mean your chiropractor appointment?
Yeah, but that means I work 6 to 2, do my 8 hours, go to my chiropractor,
and then come back,
and then come here.
All right. Yeah. So I think we're going to wrap it on. Thanks. I mean, we blame you guys for keeping us going for 2 hours because you guys just keep asking us some
It's all your
awesome
fault.
questions. Yeah. It's all your guys' fault. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We
No,
love you guys.
JC. Sorry. GoldenEye. If anybody cares, on Switch, it does have online multiplayer only on Switch.
Only on Switch.
Kill it. I'll get the music going.
You got to have the expansion pass for Switch to play it on Switch. You got to get like the Nintendo expansion for it.
No, fuck.
Which is like $80 or no, it's on sale. It's $50 for 12 months.
Bastards.
Bones says the life of a streamer. All right, hit the music. All right, you guys, before we get sidetracked on some more stuff, thanks for watching our little late night stream. We can call it a Lazio pregame. We did do some pre-gaming. We also did talk about a bunch of other stuff, jerseys, stadiums, and all that other fun stuff. Guys, we're 8 subscribers away from breaking the 1K barrier.
Let's do it.
Please share it to your friends, guys. We like to get more of you in the chat so we can talk again. We like to keep it more personable. So the more of you that are here that we can talk, we can do more stuff. But again, guys, please do the old like so it can get pushed up in the algorithm because YouTube only pushes videos that are liked and have very high interactions in the comments. You guys did a really good job in the chat for us tonight, keeping it really good. Lots of engagement in the chat. Kudos to you guys on that one. But again, guys, we'll catch you on the Lazio post game when we film one. And maybe if Dave does a watch along tomorrow, I'll join him eventually. So we will catch you guys on the next one, huh? Toodaloo and good night.
Good night, guys. But absolutely, I'll do the stream. I might be late. Just catch me. Just put that notification bell on, and then bam, we're in there. Good night. Love you all. See you tomorrow.